A true WNBA fan, I'm sure last night you stayed up to watch the Sparks versus the Storm. And realistically, this is a huge playoff contender game, realistically, to kind of almost try to figure out who's going to be between, I guess, that 6, 7, and 8, but realistically, probably battling a little bit more towards the 7 or 8 seed. And I guess the reason why I kind of really want to highlight this is because Dearica Hamby is like one of those players. And of course, I mean, if you're a fan of Unraveled, and most people you know about Mama D, but a lot of people kind of really be sleeping on her game because again it's not one of those, and that's one of the things I guess like really watching sports, even when you talk about people doing like these type of videos or doing highlight videos, where you get to really figure out, does this person just like highlights because it just their person game look cool, or is it complete domination? And I think that's the difference even between these two players when you're talking about a Rickea Jackson or you're talking about a Dearica Hamby. The Dearica Hamby game is like, it's just basic and it's super solid and it's almost a guaranteed bucket. Where Rickea Jackson Jones is more, ooh, it's finesse, it's pretty. It's like, ooh, did she just hit that move? Did she pull up and just hit that J? And it's super smooth and it will gain a lot of attention. And then you always got some of those super lazy people where it's like, okay, I'm gonna talk about the Sparks, I'm gonna talk about Kelsey Plum because she used to play for the Aces. So you kind of get those different types of breakdowns that if you really just super locked in and paying attention to content, paying attention to the games as well, or who's talking about the games. But Dearica Hamby has been solidly the most consistent hand on this team where it's like, cool. Everybody else can have a good game. Some of them can take nights off, but the consistent hand on this team on a consistent basis, and when it get tight and the games is a little bit closer, the booty cheeks get a little bit tighter. Mama D just say, "Give me the ball," and I got us, girls. Get on my back, and I'm gonna carry us to the promised land. I do want to give Rickea Jackson a huge shout out because one of her biggest critiques that I got on her game is her defense. Like it's kind of like it's super wishy washy, but she came up with a huge block on Necker last night. That's realistically to seal the deal and solidify that game. So again, that's why you kind of really got to highlight both of them. But just again, if you actually watch the games and then you watch how people talk about the games after, I just pay attention to what people celebrate more than the actual consistency from Dearica Hamby, because she's literally multiple games, the game get close, everybody else kind of look like they don't want the ball. Mama D, just give me the rock. I got us. We gonna go to the promised land, and we gonna get to this playoffs off the strength of just my sure will and competitive nature. Because it's like, again, consistently on defense. Her sitting here had to go and battle with Necker the whole game, and then still make sure that I can do my end on the defense, get the rebounds, and absolutely still come up with big time buckets when, again, like I said, she not about to come up and pull up and shoot no crazy three. She even not as super consistent at the free throw line. None of that matters. Get her to rock in the paint. Like, I think I literally want to say yesterday she went like 14 for 17, all inside the paint. I'm going to put my hard hat on and I'm going to work with my hammer and nails. So again, like I said, man, shout outs to Dearica Hamby. Hopefully the Sparks do make the playoffs. And I'm real quick, because I know a lot of people do complain about how Kathy does the scheduling. Like, of course I do. This is the kind of the time, like how tight this season is. You probably wish they had the NBA playing thing. Of course, it's not enough teams to do that, but realistically, you kind of wish that how it ends, because it was like, instead of this weekend it being Fever versus the Sky, I promise, realistically, at this point, you would want to see a Sparks versus the Fever to kind of really sit here, so they have to battle each other for that final playoff spot. But I understand. I mean, of course, football season starting back up. You're talking about this is the first week of the NFL, and I think a lot of people don't be putting that into play neither. Like when you see that overly done Sky versus Fever game, they kind of realistically do it when there's other major sporting events, because I have to take my two most popular players to help us still get the attention going against the NFL. I mean, of course, it's not going to be that same attention now because one of the superstars is injured and the other one just played on a rec league team. So it's not going to get the hype that you would expect or needed to. But I understand, hey, college football is back. The NFL is back this week. I got two household names. I kind of need them to keep that attention going on. So again, but like I said, this was about the Sparks. A huge victory for them to pull off last night to kind of really make that push on the playoffs. And I love how Rickea is really coming into her own low key. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, she